Good morning, Roy Cisneros. My name is Sandra LaPlante, and I'm going to talk to you about resilience. So, have you ever felt powerless? Have you ever feel or felt like you wanted to help somebody but you couldn't? You didn't know how, but you really wanted to, and wish you had a superpower. Well, I have good news for you. You do have that superpower. And that superpower is called resilience. But what does resilience mean? Resilience is an adult word. It means pretty much you are really strong. You're becoming really strong. So, how do you do it? Well, it takes a lot of practice. And that practice takes a lot of failing. And failing is going to hurt. But when you fail, you try and fail, you get stronger and stronger, right? And that's how you become stronger. Imagine your superheroes or athletes that you follow. You see them falling and they get back up and then they go to the next game and then they're better, right? So imagine feeling like this, right? Taking punches, falling, and being okay with it, knowing that you're really, really strong. So, how do you do it? Well, let me tell you how I did it. So, my story starts when I was little back in Peru. I was really lucky because my uncle was studying engineering. My dad is an engineer already. So, my uncle had a lot of fun teaching me math. So, that became my superpower. I was really good at math. And that became my identity. When years went by, math got harder. I struggled through math and I thought, oh my God, my superpower is gone. I am no longer intelligent. I'm no longer smart. And thank God and thank to my dad, I got lucky again. He hired a private tutor. Essentially, what is a tutor? Is a math coach, somebody that helps you get back up. And that tutor helped me regain my superpower. So fast forward, I was so good at math that imagine I went to study engineering, right? So failing over and over again through engineering. And I'm in my last year of college, about to go work for the best companies in the world. I had a job lined up, but there was one class standing in the way of me and that dream job in Silicon Valley, which, by the way, Silicon Valley is just a place in California where all these companies are created. Google, Facebook, the ones that build your phones, create the technology that you live in. And I wanted to work for them. But there was this class standing in the way. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? My future is about to fall. And all of my dreams and everything I worked so hard for. So I studied and it didn't work. I got the tutor back in college and I didn't have time to meet that tutor because I worked full time to put myself through school. And I remember I was like, wait, I have tutors back in Peru. So I hired a tutor from the best engineering school in Peru. And that person helped me pass my class. And I went to Silicon Valley to build the future. But that left me feeling powerless. Remember that feeling? Because I was like, wait, hold on a second. What about my tutor? What happened to my tutor? Like, why can my tutor not dream? Why am I the only one that gets to dream just because I'm in the US? What about my tutor? What about his chances? He's smarter than me. And I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how and I didn't know what to do. So I went on to work for companies, and inside of those buildings, everybody looked like this. And I was like, why am I the only Latina in this room? Why am I the only person of color? What is going on? I was so confused. This is, by the way, a real picture of what I look like inside. I was like going and going to buildings, and I was like, wait, hold on one second. Nobody's looking like me. And remember, I grew up in Peru. I grew up represented. I grew up with every doctor that I went to, every engineer. I mean, my uncle, my dad was an engineer, every lawyer, everybody looked like me. I've never felt so underrepresented. So I was like, I didn't understand. And I dig and I dig. And then I realized that only 5% of the Silicon Valley, imagine the people building your phones, building the technology, building Google, building Facebook, building Instagram, TikTok, everything that you use, everything, the future, the present, they do not represent us. We are not in those rooms building that. It looks like this, 5%. So just 5 out of 100 people are Latinos in Silicon Valley. I was like, wait, hold on 1 second. There is something wrong. And that's when I realized, I was like, oh, I got lucky. I had an uncle that was an engineer, My dad had hired a private tutor that cost a lot of money. And that's what some people call privilege, right? As you can see in this picture, some people can reach more because they have more access to things, right? Like back then I had private tutors, then I hired a tutor. And that's when I realized, well, this is not fair because every kid, every person deserves a chance to dream and reach all of their dreams. And there's nothing that should be standing in the way of their dreams. So that's when I quit my job and I decided to build a platform, like, a company like Google, Uber, that can help every kid reach their dreams by getting a private tutor, by making tutoring accessible to everybody the way I did it for me. But you don't have to have a private tutor. You are lucky too. If you're in America, you're lucky. If you don't have to walk to school like these kids in Peru, you're lucky. If your principal is putting an event like this, you're lucky. If there is food at your school that you can eat, you're lucky. If there's internet at your school, you're lucky. And let's call that all of that luckiness that you have. I don't know if that's a word, but you understand me. Let's call that your platform. Okay? So you're coming out of here with a lot of words. There's always something you can do to help others. Okay? So remember that you're lucky too. Remember that feeling that I had about powerless and how I felt like I wanted to do something back to help my tutor. I didn't understand. I didn't think that was fair. Life is not fair. Well, now we are helping tutors in 28 different countries. But I'm here not to tell you about me, but how you can how can you develop that superpower, and how can you achieve all of your dreams. And it's pretty simple. So resilience is one of them, asking for help and being grateful. So I'm going to talk about resilience, right? We'll talk about resilience is trying and failing, right? And then, but let's make it a little smarter, right? Like if you know your friend knows divisions, you go and ask your friends to help you, and then you go and do those divisions. You ask for help. If you don't have access to tutoring, then you can ask your teacher. Your teacher is going to understand, wow, okay, this kid doesn't know. And it's very courageous, by the way, that you ask for help. And it's an important skill that even adults need to develop. So, and grateful. So as you're trying and failing, you're raising your hand. Remember that, like there's going to be a lot of challenges. Those challenges are making you strong. When you raise your hand and people maybe like make fun of you because you asked a question and everybody knew the answer, but you didn't, it's going to like suck, but it's going to make you stronger. Okay. So resilience. This is actually proven, and it's actually a new piece of information that I didn't know about, and I want you to learn it. You don't need to spell out anterior cingulate cortex, but you need to know that that is part of your brain, and it actually grows when you build resilience. And that actually makes you stronger. That is pretty much your will to live and to do whatever you want in life. And how do you do it? It's simple, but it's not easy. You do something that sucks, that you don't want to do, 5 minutes every day. You hate divisions, go and do those divisions. Run to what scares you. You hate reading, go run to read. You hate running, go running. Like you can do anything. And this is when you develop this, you're telling your brain who's in charge and that you can do whatever that you want. Remember, Roy Cisneros, you're strong, resilient, considerate, kind, creative. You're a leader. I cannot wait to see the type of hero that you become. Thank you.